What is up, YouTube? Jonny here again today, and we're going to be bringing you a new video. But this time the video is going to be on my FRS. I don't know if you guys have been on my Instagram, but recently I posted a picture of the rear end of it, saying how it was too stock and I wanted to, do something a little bit more aggressive with the rear end, kind of make it as aggressive as the front is. So I came up with an idea. I talked with my friend Eric at Velox Motorsports. They have an amazing diffuser. So I've been, juggling with the idea of getting a rear diffuser for my car for quite a bit. Just finally came through with it, decided to go with it. This is not going to be just a visual mod, though it is something that is beautiful to see. It is actually very, very functional. What this diffuser does is that it reduces drag and increases downforce. So it's going to look good and work. That's a plus in my book. So what I decided to do was that I wanted to chop up the bumper, kind of give it like a different design. I don't want to have like a stock bumper with just a diffuser because everybody seems to have it that way. I wanted to go a step above that and be a lot more aggressive. So to do that, I have to chop my bumper. So I have my stock bumper on there at the moment, and I do not want to chop my stock bumper because it has, the OEM paint, everything is perfect. So I don't really want to do that. So what I did is I removed it, and now that it's removed, I went ahead and got another rear bumper so I can chop that thing up as much as I want. And I went ahead and ordered some paint for it. I'm going to be using some PPG paint. It's a little bit expensive, but it's going to be the best color match I can get for this pearl. So let me show you guys what the rear end is looking like right now. Alright guys, so what do you think? Does it look good like that, just with no bumper at all? Or is it going to look better if I decide to paint the bumper that I have set up for it? I don't know. You guys decide. Let me know down in the comments below. I can go either option, so it's not a problem with me. The reason I didn't do an install video on the diffuser is because it's relatively easy. It's something that is so simple. The spots where I have the splitter rods holding up the splitter, or actually the diffuser, are the same spots where you would bolt it onto your factory bumper. So the center ones actually go there. You just bolt it onto the bumper, and then on the ones that are on the side, those you actually have to install some rivet nuts onto your bumper, and then you can go ahead and just screw it on. So it's very, very simple to do. FT86 Speed Factory already has a video on it. That's why I decided not to make an install video. Plus I'm going to be doing something, a little bit more custom, so it's not something that everybody's going to do. But there's a video out there for it. There's that same website is also where you can buy the diffuser if you decide to buy one or you're interested in getting one. It's called Velox Motorsports, the rear diffuser for an FRS. It's a really, really good quality. That's why I decided to go with this. Obviously I got a good deal on it too because I know the guy that makes them. But to continue on, now we're gonna go ahead and paint the bumper. Alright guys, so the bumper that I decided to go with was an OEM bumper. My original bumper that actually came with the car, like I said, I took that off. It's inside the office. I'm not gonna mess with it. I don't want to cut it. I don't want to do anything with it. Just in case I decide that I don't like the look of what I'm about to do, I want to make sure I can go back to how it used to be. But this is the bumper I did. I went ahead and took a couple measurements. You know, I kind of laid out what the vinyl was gonna look like, and when I did the cut, I wanted the cut to line up with the vinyl so that it wouldn't be jagged, so it wouldn't look like, you know, like a different cut. So it's basically parallel with the vinyl wrap that goes on the car. As you guys know, I have the Initial D vinyl wrap on it, so there's certain amount of lines, and those lines are gonna be parallel to the cut that I did. So that way, you know, it gives it a nice little effect. It looks good. So I took measurements on that. Then on top of that, it is gonna be painted, you know, the original, it's called satin whiteout pearl, something like that. It's gonna be painted like that in a little bit. So what I did is I went ahead and sanded it down, prepped it. It had a little bit of imperfections, so I used some red putty to kind of fill those in, and I'm gonna be sanding those now. But let's see how this turns out, guys. Alright guys, it took quite a bit to get the bumper prepped and ready for paint because it had a couple of scratches here and there. So I had to go ahead and use some putty, they call it red putty, to go ahead and fill in the scratches, fill in, you know, some of the imperfections. And then after that, I have to sand it down to just level everything out. Sand it all down, basically prep it to get it ready for paint. So now that we have that done, I'm gonna be starting on the three-stage paint. So what it is, it's a base coat, which is gonna be the white pearl. They call it a whiteout, so it's just basically like a flat white color. And then on top of that is the pearl coat, or they call it a transparent clear coat, something like that. And then it's the actual clear coat. So 3 stages. We're gonna go ahead and paint this. It's fairly simple to paint a bumper because it's tiny, and now that I cut it, it's even tinier. So let's hope this turns out good. Okay, so this is gonna be the base paint that we're gonna be using. It is the 37J, they call it satin white. It is the prime variant, and it's made by PPG, so it's some of the most expensive paint. They call it DVC1. So for this little thing right here, which is 16 ounces, it was $75. And this isn't including the pearl, which is another 16-ounce little thing like this. It's not including that, and that thing is, you know, it can get pretty expensive. So for this pearl paint, it's not cheap to do. Obviously, I went with the higher quality paint just because of the fact that it's a better chance that it's gonna be almost a perfect match. I even modified it a little bit just to get it closer to the color. So that's what it's gonna be. Alright guys, finally done doing the paint. It's a 3-stage paint, so I went ahead and did the base coat, did the pearl coat, and then did the clear coat. It's not the best that, you know, that anybody can do, especially considering the location that I'm in. There's always like little dust in the air or something that gets on the paint. But I was able to lay down a really nice clear coat. It's completely shiny all over. There's minimal orange peel. So it turned out nice. So I'm gonna wait till tomorrow to, you know, to see the finished product and probably, you know, work on it a little bit more, and you probably need a sand buff it or something like that. So we're gonna end the video here. As you guys can see, it's already dark. It's nighttime and I need to go home. So you guys will see the continuation and probably the final product in the next video. As always, you guys have a great day.